Hello to everyone out there. I'm on a walk right now after eating some delicious dinner, and I'm kind of just putting together a few things as I'm going on this walk, so I figured I would share them. And some of it is just me being able to process parts of my past, or parts of the things that are surfacing for me, and parts of the things that I learned just from observing other people, and maybe I didn't adapt fully to not have the same effect even when it was a different cause. So one of the things that I've really learned about myself is how much learned helplessness I have been just doing. I won't even say allowing, because learned helplessness is something that you pick up from an environment or from a certain person with the mindset, right? So speaking about learned helplessness, oftentimes at work or in work environments, I would definitely do that a lot, and then blame the environment, and then become so just frustrated or feeling like it's a dead-end job, when it's really like the perspective that you have. And are you feeding into the learned helplessness in the environment, or are you showing up to work, handling the tasks at hand as they come up, and are you, fulfilling the job requirements in a positive manner, right? And there have been times where I have simply just taken my problems and the things going on in my life to work. And luckily I had people who would talk to me and, just give me some advice, give me some reassurance at times, and I'd just be crying in the bathroom, just completely giving too much energy to the environment and to feeding into the learned helplessness. So, that's one of the things that I've been processing recently. And another way to put it into the cause and effect is, another example I will share is that being ungrateful all of the time is what creates self-sabotage, and ultimately it leads to what would I say, an alter ego, or another type of personality, another way of being. So being ungrateful all the time creates just like a fragmented version of yourself, which again is what creates the alter ego, or the different persona that you can flip through. And another example with just like a cause and effect here is that being ungrateful is also feeding into hate, because when you're not grateful of your surroundings, that means that you aren't appreciating everything, and obviously taking things for granted, but mainly the fact of being unappreciative and ungrateful is also being unloving. So which I feel like all leads to isolation ultimately at the end as well. So just another example. And how, what was the other example I was just thinking of? So when you don't really have awareness, or you're not living in the present moment, you're constantly living in the past, or thinking from a past perspective that you once had, like you're just not letting go of the past or whatever happened. Be it trauma, be it a relationship, be it a limiting belief, from the past. So that creates a sense of unaware, or you being unaware of your actions, because you're not living in the present moment, which ultimately leads to feeling like you're self-sabotaging, or if you're that unaware and that stuck in a mindset, then it's like, well, obviously you are, self-sabotaging, and that also leads to maybe not isolation, but it ultimately leads to the never meeting your full potential. So it's not quite hate or isolation, but ultimately, if you're not acting like your best self, like your higher self, and you're just going off of ego, sorry, I'm trying to cross the street here. But ultimately, if you continue in that path of self-sabotaging, then that is what brings about addiction and sickness, because your body is so uncomfortable with what you're putting it through, or your body starts to get into survival mode more than a short period of time. Because I get it, like, we're all living through what we're living through, and the cycles of war and grief and depression eras and instability to some extent repeat. There are highs and lows to life all the time, but my point is, if you're constantly in survival mode, or your body's just not able to recover because you're not doing the things that are actually in alignment in your path to becoming your best self, then that is, again, what leads to sicknesses. And, that's not just something in your body, right? You could have a sickness that comes across as hatred, right? When people talk about, oh, these people are racist, these people are biased or whatever, it's like that is a sickness at the end of the day, right? That's something from their past, from a past experience, from a past relationship, someone who nurtured them in their environment, whatever the case is, right? It's something that is from the past, something that has no place today, but it's continuing because people are stuck in the past and they're not being the very best version of themselves that they can be. So I want to just get that message out there, that if you are not aware and you're not grateful for your life and you're not present, then you're gonna be very miserable, is what I'll say. And after being isolated from the things that I once had, right? It's the way I'll put it. After being isolated from the things that I once had, the things that I once used to distract me, the things that I had become addicted to, stopping those things and realizing that, life is more important when you take accountability for it yourself. If you're letting other people make choices for you, if you're letting your environment dictate your happiness, if you're letting a relationship make or break who you are, that saying that people, I'm just looking for my other half, or I'm just trying to blah 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 in a relationship, instead of coming as a whole person who's been through therapy and or just been through certain things in life and have recovered and still want to put themselves out there and be vulnerable and pursue connections, then it's just not going to work out the way that you think. Again, from someone who has tried that, who's had that happen, and it wasn't the best outcome. It wasn't the outcome that I was looking for, but hey, it was the lesson that I needed. It was the thing that helped me become more grounded, and it was the thing that I was able to use to come back to myself and my goals. Like, hey, what is it that I really want to do in life? Hey, what is it that I'm really trying to pursue at the end of the day? What did I get from this relationship that I was not giving myself? And and then go from there, and then build from there, right? But this was something that just all of the stuff I've been thinking about for the last 2 months, and practicing Buddhism has really helped me to just take everything out and focus on the mindset and meditate. And the answers will come to you, right? You just got to give things time. But that is all I wanted to share today. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here.